I'm looking for Mary Rossettini, who was here a moment ago because she was on my bus. And Mary Rossettini is coming up. Oh. Stacy turned off the microphone for me because she thought I was too loud. So, if anybody in Congressman Pascrell's district, this is the time to come up and join us behind us. I wanted to introduce Mary Rossettini, who is the CEO of Advance Housing, lives in the Congressman's district, who's going to talk briefly about housing issues and policy priorities within the district. And then we're going to have Alvin Bonaparte, if you're here, can join us up here as well, is going to be speaking about how housing has transformed his life, and then we're going to have a chance to hear from the Congressman.
Where'd Alvin go?
Good afternoon, Congressman Pascrell and fellow advocates. My name is Mary Rossettini, and I am President and CEO of Advance Housing. I am here today to make one point: stop cuts to housing programs. Programs such as Hug McKinney-Vento homeless programs, the Housing Choice Voucher programs, the Home Investment Partnership Program, National Housing Trust Fund Program, and the Low Income Housing Trust Fund Program. These programs are critical in order to continue to develop affordable housing for homeless individuals, needy families, and individuals with special needs. I live in Clifton, which is in Passaic County. On the night of the point-in-time survey on January 26th, there were 432 people experiencing homelessness in the county. 27 of the 432 people met HUD's definition of chronically homeless. 152 were children under the age of 18. 36 people were unsheltered. Last month in Clifton, a large homeless encampment was dismantled. Officials informed the homeless a few weeks before and worked with them to try to be sure they have a place to go. Only one of the group agreed to enter a shelter. The rest decided to relocate to other areas. The homeless will relocate. They will relocate to homelessness without an affordable place to live. If there is no affordable housing, homelessness will continue to happen. Housing programs work. They provide dignity and respect. They provide assistance that is needed to access critical benefits and help individuals transition back to a productive life. However, housing programs only work if they are funded. The solution to homelessness is affordable housing. So let's be part of the solution and stop housing cuts now. Thank you for your time.
I'm going to introduce Alvin Bonaparte from NJCDC who's going to speak, but again, if you're from Passaic County, Patterson, Southern Bergen County, this is your congressman. Come up and be in the photograph because this is a great opportunity. Congressman Pascrell has been a great friend. He's somebody who's been there for a long time fighting for these issues. We want to show him that we came down to be with him in his adopted city, not Patterson, but his adopted city. As much as we want to see him in Patterson, we want to see him here. So come down and join us behind the stage. Alvin. I turned around and I lost you.
That's okay. How are you?
Good.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Alvin Bonaparte. I'm here to represent not only the CDC, but they asked me to come and share my trip over experience about the key component of supportive housing. Now, I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for a lot of people on this journey that helped me achieve a level of success. Because when the CDC found me and the CEO, Bob Guarachi, found me, I was in desperate states. Right? I'm a veteran of the United States Army. I swore an oath to defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. All public servants swore the same oath. Right? I swore that oath when I enlisted into the Army, and I believe in that oath. Right? So I'm a veteran of the United States Army, and my struggle, right, to hear my case adjudicated properly, since the VA is so vast, right, and cumbersome, right, and the systems that built into it, right, the checks and balances are so antiquated and obsolete, right? A lot of us who have struggled to actually get assistance from the VA fell through the cracks and ended up in the street right, homeless, in utter desperation, and on the verge of suicide. So I bought, I bought my copy of my 214 and the records I got from St. Louis, which is completely inadequate, but it's just supposed to show you how the system and the bureaucracy have millions of Americans homeless, right? Just because nobody want to address the issue that there's a problem, right? And the supportive housing is a key component to bringing the individual from desperation and stabilizing him, right? Stabilizing him and actually giving him, a lost dream and being a productive member of society and paying taxes and being, and contributing and to, the well-being of not only the country, but his own self-esteem and his own self-awareness and his own self-acceptance, right? So I also got a copy of the resume of everything I've been able to achieve since the burden of homelessness was lifted from me.
Right now.
Lifted from me.
Yeah.
Right now, I got a lot of people to thank. I only got a short period of time, right? I also work at a facility called Eva's Village. I'll be remiss not to give them a crazy shout out, because these people believed in me, right? Believed in me, and like, listen, since we helped you, right, you come back and save somebody else. Try to deliver another addict or another individual, out of darkness, and share your strength over experience and show them that if you believe in the system, if you believe, right, that there aren't peoples and entities out there to help you, right, if you just follow the protocol and believe, somebody's going to hear your plea and cry, and then they're going to come to your aid. I'm glad my congressman is here. You know what I'm saying? Our congressman is a staunch component of, all the subsidies and all the programs that afforded us or allowed us, being cut on a massive scale through the bureaucracy and the infighting that we all see on TV about, the Senate and the House and Congress and this and the Democrats and Republicans. Nobody can agree that there's a problem and they don't want it exposed, because if you expose it, then you have to address it. You have to address it. So I want to thank, a lot of people that helped me to achieve a level of success, right? And help me to actually go back and help another individual who would suffer from any kind of mental illness or whatever problem or cognitive thinking that they may be struggling with, saying, achieve the success I have achieved. And I'm still a work in progress. I'm still, how long is it?
2 seconds. but you're a good work in progress, and we're proud of you being a work in progress.
Okay, thank you. Well, obviously, my time is short. But whoever hears this message, please contribute to Eva's Village. Please contribute to Eva's Village. It's located at 393 Main Street in Paterson, New Jersey. The CEO of the facility, her name is Marie Rieger, and I work directly under the Executive Administrator of Clinical Services. His name is Mike Santello. We serve the needy and the hungry, we feed the homeless, we treat the addicted, and we serve everybody in Paterson. All is welcome. Come help us save somebody else's life.
The whole line, so you got the message over. Congressman Pascrell, would love to have you come up and say a few words. Congressman Pascrell knows very well about Eva's Village and the good work of NJCDC and other groups in Paterson, because you were formerly the mayor of the great city of Paterson.
Good afternoon, everyone. And a few members, other members are supposed to be here. Our schedule is crazy. We're winding down before the summer break. The Congress has been on a break for a couple of years, but you know what I mean. Alvin did a beautiful job. I want you to know we're proud of you. I've worked with Eva's for 30 years, and they do great work, as do many other groups, but you're certainly an advocate, and don't lose any of your energy or your enthusiasm. Don't let anybody ever quiet you down. You understand what I'm saying? As John used to say, get out of the way. We're coming. We're coming. And to all of you, you have your own stories. This is what it's all about. I just want to read you something quickly. I'm obviously in a hurry. We have votes coming up. Since this is what I did this morning, I'm telling you for a reason, not pat myself on the back. I'm telling you this for a reason. I started off with Jonathan Walk, who was a fellow at Brookings, talking about how American politics went insane. It was exciting. It was very exciting. Being insane, I fit in, right? What I have to say. Then I had a caucus on democratic efforts to prevent gun violence. And then I had a hearing on restoring the trust for Americans in in retirement. I didn't plan for that. And then I gave remarks. I had to put a forum together on combating violent extremism in the United States of America. Fabulous. We had 3 great panelists, myself, and I also introduced Keith Ellison from Minnesota, first Muslim in the Congress of the United States, Andre Carson, second Muslim, and Judy Chu from California, and they all had remarks to make as well. I was one of the original members of Homeland Security. I'm no longer serving on that committee. I had to leave them because I had to go to a hearing in the Ways and Means Committee where we discussed trade and the digital market and what regulations we don't need and what are the barriers that exist to that kind of trading. And then I had a senior meeting with Madeleine Albright. And then at 11:30, I talked very briefly with a company that does a lot of children's work in healthcare. At 12:30, I met the Association of Home Care and Hospice Association of New Jersey. And here I am in the Community Development Network. The point I'm trying to make, I don't want to read to the rest and bore you. The reason why I read this is, your job is to affect how congressmen think. And remember, we go through 30 issues a day. So in order to bring centricity and focus, am I going too long?
No.
In order, see what you started? In order to bring focus to what we're interested in, housing developments, housing authorities, senior housing, which we've gotten away from in the past 20 years. Never started by Republican senior housing, invested in senior housing all over America. Dwight Eisenhower. And we are so falling behind in that area, it is not funny. So I want to make some comments here to you today. I'll try to rush through them. I want to recognize individuals that represent Patterson Habitat for Humanity. Where's Barbara Dunn? Is Barbara Dunn here? Did she come?
I don't think she was able to make it today.
Oh, okay.
Last minute, she had to make a change.
She's done a great job.
With you in spirit.
We started Habitat on its way in the late 80s. Jessica Aru, is she here, Jessica? No? Okay.
Johnny here.
Faith in the Fourth Family Community Engagement, Mark Fisher. And NJCDC, of course, you've heard. We got another member here. I want to thank everybody for being here today. This is our fight. And you're darn right we got to stop the cuts.
Woo!
I want to see. All right. I'm on the streets of Patterson, New Jersey. And I lived there all my life. Lived there all my life. And I know how I used to settle things in the streets. peacefulness. But you want to know something? That's what they want us to do, is about peacefulness. But we're not going to be sucked into anything. But we got to fight for this, I'm telling you, because it's just going to keep coming. Very little conscience. Very little conscience. Our area, the country, in New Jersey as a whole, knows how important it is to be active on the local level, as you're doing, and partnering with the state and federal government to leverage. Partnerships is what we need. You cannot do it yourself. You cannot do it. Here's what we got to do many times is lower our voices and increase our commitment. That's what we need to do. You need to be committed to this thing. You got to be committed. Our state has been through a lot. In a state where housing is so expensive, New Jersey, as an example, our decisions on housing policy must be at the forefront of any kind of economic development and any kind of aspirations about the quality of the lives that we live in. You need shelter. You need shelter before you need water. You need shelter before you need food. When Hurricane Sandy replaced 498 distress units that were built in 1953 and provide homes. That was a difficult time to organize. Difficult time. The New Jersey delegation did come together, believe it or not, and provided $50 billion in disaster recovery to help our state recover and rebuild. The Department of Housing and Urban Development has allocated more than $4.2 billion to the Community Development Block Grant disaster recovery program for the state of New Jersey. These funds are being used to assist homeowners, renters, and businesses. In fact, unfortunately, our governor took some of the money for Sandy and put it in projects that had nothing to do with people who got hurt from Sandy. The elections have consequences. It has nothing to do with Democrat, Republican.
That's right.
We're electing fools.
Right.
And the people that give us lip service about this stuff are the biggest fools. They're worse than political opponents. Take my word for it. So I'm fighting to ensure the recovery funds are distributed fairly in impacted areas. Like Moonachie was wiped out, Little Ferry was wiped out literally. God, it didn't rain, by the way, not much. It still got wiped out because there was a surge up the Hackensack River, just as bad as what the Atlantic Ocean did to much of the shore, just as bad. I've been fighting for tax relief for New Jersey, similar to what was provided for the Gulf Coast. Why are we second fiddle to the Gulf Coast, to Katrina? Why? Why do we have to pay for this? Other parts of the country, some disaster happens, we're like pariah. New Jersey, New York, Connecticut. Why? Those tax credits are important. I've advocated for the Home Investment Partnership Program. The HOME program has done a great deal for a lot of towns, which is funded under the appropriations process, which is another story. We don't even have a budget. You know, this thing can come apart very easily because in September, we gotta make sure we pay our debts or shut the government down. We're gonna have that vote. When we come back from the summer vacation, facing us is the budget, which we haven't done, we should have done a long time ago, and shutting down the government if we don't pay our debts. It says very clearly in the Constitution, we gotta pay our debts. So that's one of the leverages that the far right, those folks that are to the right of Charlemagne, these are things that they hang over our head and use as leverage. Mind you, shutting down the government. Look, if you don't like our government, go to China. go to Venezuela, go to Russia, or else get with it and help us come together and get something done. So the homeless money is very critical, very important. The homeless assistance program, we fought very hard for that. I'm very proud of our housing authority in Patterson. Hope 6 grant, of course, Hope 6 has helped a lot of communities. The new Alexandria housing development, out there we call them projects. We don't call those folks Project P. It's a come down. We're not going to accept that.
That's right.
So when you debate it on the floor of the House, you better not call them public projects.
That's right.
That's where people live. So my friends, I'm honored to be here today. And at Passaic County, I just want to conclude by this. He's coming closer to me, that means...
Because we always want to be close to you.
I took 2 showers this morning, I should be okay.
I did, but then I rode the bus.
The Passaic Housing Authority secured funding. We helped them money for 130 units of senior housing under the Rental Assistance Demonstration Project, the RAD program, as we call it. I think that's critical, because I think if there's one area of neglect besides homeless, we have neglected senior housing. So here we are, on one side of our mouth we say, oh, the population is getting older. On the other side of our mouth we say, so what? Hey, look, thanks for listening. I love you all. I'll do whatever I can to help us.